In October of 2019, we distributed 6,000 pounds of food to 48 families, 98 children, and 300 adults. That's what we do. We feed people. Satisfeed Story started back in the summer of 2008. And when Patty and I were introduced to Life Church International, I had an opportunity to go to a men's meeting because at the time Life Church International was one church, two locations. Our permanent location was down by UPS on Pleasantdale Road, and our mobile location had started at an elementary school, then went to Pkwy Ridge High School, and finally to where we are today. At that meeting, I saw a facility that was the quintessential community service center. It had the sanctuary, it had a commercial kitchen, it had classrooms, and it was perfectly located across the street from 9 or 10 apartment complexes that you could tell there were a lot of students who needed help. And so I was overwhelmed by it. And I went to this men's meeting on a Saturday morning in August, and Bruce Deal from City of Refuge told his story. And from that moment on, it was like, what can I do? I was just so smitten. And then I picked up the phone in 2011 or 2012 to call Gwinnett County Board of Education and say, what do you all do for kids who receive free and reduced meals 9 months out of the year? What about the summertime? And it took the school board about 2 months to get back to me, and at that point they said, we kind of feed them when they come to summer school. But I said, summer school is only 3 weeks. And he said, yeah, we know, and they have to provide transportation to get to it, but we feed them when they're there. I said, that's not an answer. And so I began to wonder what I could do. In the meantime, I just kept going to Life Church, and one thing led to another, and in December of 2013, one of the men in the church said, let's feed Proctor Square at Christmas time. And so in the pouring down rain, the Saturday before Christmas, we distributed 72 boxes of food. We just went door to door. And we're talking about an apartment complex that was 95% Latino. And if men were living in the apartment, it was probably 6 or 8 men, construction workers. And we're talking about 2012, somewhere in there. So we delivered the food. And that began for me. I just said, I've got to do something for these people. And one thing led to another, and so I decided, okay, I'll pick up the food in the yellow Ryder truck, and once I pick up the food, I'll bring it back to the parking lot below Proctor Square Apartments, and we will set up tables, put the food on the tables. The people came down the hill with their laundry baskets or their banana boxes. They would fill the boxes, and we were feeding people. But 2 things happened. Number one, I got physically tired because I was really the only one that was doing it. I was loading and unloading, feeding, cleaning up. The other thing was my food source became too many carbs and not enough protein. So I had to step away. I shut it down. That really, really, really hurt. So what did I do? I went to the Atlanta Community Food Bank and I said, I want to receive your food. I want to participate. I went through the application process. It took us 4 months, and they said no. They said no because we were not a nonprofit incorporated in the state of Georgia. I was so tired. But I didn't give up. I started asking more questions, and someone told me about Must Ministries and the summer lunch program. And so Pastor Jonathan and I went out to Must Ministries in Marietta in February of 2014. We came back full of ideas, full of enthusiasm, and full of the knowledge that we can feed people. So we presented it to the Pastors' Council, and they said yes. So in summer of 2014, we began distributing brown bag lunches. And so this is what we would distribute. We would distribute a brown bag lunch that included a sandwich, a sweet, a savory, and a drink. And the total cost, including the bag, was $1.12. We distributed about 3,500 brown bag lunches that first summer, 2014. Summer 2019, we distributed 25,000 brown bag lunches over a 10-week period. So we averaged 500 brown bag lunches a day. Meanwhile, I continued to pursue the banana box program. And in the fall of last year, I associated myself with a nonprofit that had a feeding component. And they said, you can feed people through our nonprofit. And I said, fantastic. The Atlanta Community Food Bank accepted us, and in September of 2018, we distributed 600 pounds of food to 9 families. In October of 2019, we distributed 6,000 pounds of food to 48 families, 98 children, and 300 adults. That's what we do. We feed people. Why am I showing you the banana box? Because inside the banana box are 2 other tools that I use in telling my story. First tool is the Lollipop. Why the Lollipop? Because Satisfeed feeds people physically, financially, socially, emotionally, spiritually, and relationally. We do that by having the people walk down our sidewalk and into our facility. The big picture, the big goal, the big dream is a community service center that will allow us to feed people. Right now, Life Church International has been very, very, very gracious. We're working out of 480 square feet of space. We have 9 freezers, 2 of which are upright, and the other 7 are chest freezers. And we have 5 refrigerator freezers. And we average 35 to 40 families every 2 weeks on Saturday, single parent families. And on Wednesday nights, we serve those in recovery, and we distribute between 70 and 90 grocery bags of food to folks in recovery. You may be asking, what kind of cost is there? For the banana boxes, for our single parent families, they have 2 costs. They have a hard cost and they have a soft cost. The hard cost is a $5 donation to cover the cost of the gasoline for our yellow Ryder truck to go from Swanee to Mercedes-Benz Stadium every week to the Atlanta Community Food Bank to pick up between 2,000 and 3,000 pounds of food. The soft costs are the people's willingness to help us unload the truck, stock the shelves, pack the bags, pack the boxes, rearrange the storehouse, do whatever we need to do in order to be more efficient and more effective. Right now, as I speak, we are in our Christmas blessing. And that Christmas blessing includes a toy store. It includes special gifts for the parents and adopt a family. The 35 to 40 families that we serve on a typical Saturday were all attracted by the A-frame sign, or they were invited by someone who's already involved in the co-op. When they come in, we have a receiving area, and one of the, interestingly enough, one of the ladies that helps in the reception area is a participant in the co-op. She saw the sign and she walked in, broken and spilled out. She was anything but put together. And Tricia she's just blossomed. She helps to register our guests. Depending on the size of the family, we'll give them 1, 2, or 3 banana boxes full of food. For a family of 1 to 3, they get 1. For a family of 4 to 6, they get 2. For a family of 7 or more, they get 3 banana boxes. And the total cost is $5 per family. My favorite story for the food co-op, Satisfeed, since September of 2018 has to do with teeth. In January of 2019, I had to have some teeth extracted. And in the process of getting the teeth extracted, I got very sick. The day that I had our field observation and field interview from the Atlanta Community Food Bank was the day I had to call 911 in order to take me to the emergency room. I was so sick. So Mandy took care of the interview while the ambulance and the fire truck are coming in front of Life Church International to pick me up, to take me to the emergency room. It was, yeah. But the point of the story is, I kept thinking that it was all on me, that I had to do everything. And I had so many people step up and volunteer and say, look, we got this. It's gonna get taken care of. That's my favorite story. What's the big picture? The image on my phone is a picture of a map in one of the local McDonald's, and it shows the intersection of Sugarloaf Parkway and Highway 316. The reason I'm showing this to you is because well over 20 years ago, I had a dream. Daddy Warbucks from the Monopoly game was standing at the intersection of 316 and Sugarloaf Parkway, asking me the question, do you want to be a millionaire? And I tell you this story because the intersection of 316 and Sugarloaf Parkway is what I call the dead nut center of Gwinnett County. That's where we, meaning Satisfeed, will have at least a 45,000 square foot facility to feed the people physically, financially, socially, emotionally, spiritually, and relationally. We will build the Lollipop and they will come. Patty, my better half, reminded me today, she said, Tim, as long as you continue to ask, and as long as you continue to tell the story, you will continue to feed people and bless people. But you've got to ask, and you've got to tell the story. That's who we are. www.satisfeed.org. I'm Tim Turner, like Ted, only richer.